back to the channel. I'm so glad you can join me again today. Today we're going to be going into and deep diving into Timeless, the complete series on Blu-ray in full 1080p HD. And let me tell you, I had another video I was working on this week, and I got this in, started watching it, and I binge watched so much of this and was so excited about this, I scrapped the idea of the other video I was working on, which I'll release later on, but I had to do this because I was so excited about it. And you ever have a TV series that literally you had never seen before? You start watching it and you get so into it and you're so excited about it that I had to tell all of you about it right away. So this I actually filmed right away because I was so excited about this. Now, let's dive into this. I want to talk a little bit about the show, what I loved about it, what I thought was so exciting, and this exciting Blu-ray release. And this is an official Blu-ray release, and this is full 1080p HD. Let me tell you, it looks beautiful. Now, kind of going into here, this set. Now, I ordered, they have two different versions of this available. These were not released, obviously, in the USA. In case you didn't notice, on the front covers, they have the symbols that are ratings from other countries. These were actually released in Australia. So these releases are from Via Vision and Sony in Australia, and they're official releases. But because of streaming rights and things like that, these weren't released in the US. The only thing that was ever released in the US and most other countries is actually just some DVD copies of the first season and some of the second season. That's it. So this is the entire series, including the movie that was made almost a year after the series ended. This includes the 2-hour movie as well, the series finale. So this is the entire series. Now, I will talk about a couple of things here before we go into these box sets. Now, I ordered the complete series set, which I will have a picture up here above of the front cover of the complete series set. Some reason there's an outside box that comes with the complete series set. Some people are reporting they're getting that, and some are just getting them with it without the box and then just the individual releases on their own. Mine came this way without the outside slip cover. So I'm okay with that. I mean, I wish I would have gotten a slip cover with it, but it didn't come with it. So you may or may not get the outside slip cover with the slightly different art that says complete series on it, which I have up there. You may end up getting that slightly different. I will put the links, as always, just so that all of you have a heads up. If you're new to the channel or you haven't watched the channel before, I will put the links to both individual seasons of season 1 and season 2 on Blu-ray, as well as the complete series set, just like what I bought, but that's available in the box as well, down in the description section below this video. So that way, depending on whether you're wanting to get one season to try it out or whether you get the whole series. Now, I recommend the whole series, and we'll get into that a little more here as we go along, but if you are wanting to just do one or the other, I'll have them all linked in the description section below this video because these are not easy to find. It took me a long time to get a hold of these, and I had never seen the show before. I'll be honest with you. When I had heard of Timeless, it's done by one of my favorite writers, directors, producers, Eric Kripke, and I might have said his last name slightly wrong. And I think he does a great job with time travel. And I had not seen this show. I never saw it when it aired on TV several years back. And Timeless actually aired from 2016 through 2018. So it was on for quite a while because there was gaps in between. After season 1, it actually got canceled by NBC, and then Sony Studios came in and said, hey, we want to renew it because there was so much popularity from basically cult status and fan following that then they funded the second season. Then it got canceled again after the second season was released on TV, streaming services, so on and so forth. And then they came back and Sony said there was such demand because it ended on such a huge cliffhanger that they came back and made a movie, which is a 2-hour movie that is included in the complete series set and in season 2 release. The movie is included completely in 1080p HD as well, but it includes everything in this. So in the movie, it goes and finishes up everything beautifully, which I really appreciated because when you have both these releases, whether you buy them individually or you buy the complete series set that I was talking about, you have the entire series. And let me tell you, I started watching this going into it blind. I'd never seen it before. It was recommended because some people know that I love Eric Kripke and I loved the first 2 seasons of Heroes. They said, you really need to check out Timeless. And I hadn't heard of it, and that's rare for me because, I mean, I look up everything. TV shows, movies, it doesn't matter. I look it all up. And so I got it. It came in. I ordered it. Took a little longer. I got it in. Started watching it literally not 7 days ago. And I binge watched it. I was up to 3 in the morning watching the first season. I didn't get to finish it that day. Came back the next day after I got off work, started watching it again, and I loved it. I fell in love with the show. I think it's probably one of my favorite modern shows that's come out in the last few years. The feel of it, the writing of it is very, very, very much so like in tune with like a more modern like Quantum Leap or 7 Days, if you remember that sci-fi series, or Back to the Future-ish. I mean, there's so many elements in this that I love. Every time period they go to, they do such a great job incorporating the historical elements, which I love that side of it, the historical side of it, as well as the time travel, the sci-fi elements, the little mystery going on. I mean, it just, I'm telling you, I recommend the series highly. I have highly enjoyed this series. And so once I watched it, I said I got to do this review for the channel because I'm sure most of you don't know this was released on Blu-ray, because in the US, all we got back in 2018 was season 1, and then they released season 2 on DVD, but that was DVD. These are full 1080p HD, and I'm going to have screenshots above as I'm talking about this, going through things. I'm going to unbox these here with you as well as we're going through this to show you, but it looks beautiful. Now, before we break into this, I do have something real quick I want to cover with all of you, so stick with me here. Whether you're new to the channel or returning, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Give this video a thumbs up for me. Click the subscribe button down below and the bell notification right next to it. That way, just like this release, you'll get notified when I release these new reviews. I'm always looking for things that most people don't know are released. And that's what you'll find on my channel. If you're new to the channel, trying to decide if you're going to subscribe, make sure you subscribe to the channel. There is so much content out there that I'm going through of hidden releases that people just don't know are being released around the world. For collectors just like you and just like me that want to collect these and own these, so that way we don't have to rely on any streaming services, make sure to click that subscribe button, the like button, and then also click the bell notification down there. And also, if you want to follow me on my Instagram or my Facebook, that is the name of the channel, In Search of Physical Media, and that's on Instagram and on Facebook. And I put a little extra content out there, so if you follow me on there, you'll find out about some extra releases, stuff that I put out during the week as well. And as always, I will have all of the links for everything I talk about in the description section right below this video. So if you want to pick up any of this, I've made it easy for you. They're all right down there in the description section. You click that arrow down, box opens up, you can click on it, it takes you right to Amazon. You can buy it right through there. So I put all those down there for you. And as always, I appreciate all the continued support from all of you. I have had a great time doing this, and I love doing this every week with all of you. So make sure you stick around. We've got so much more exciting stuff coming out. We're going to dive right back into this exciting video because I'm super excited about this one. So let's dive right back into this here. All right, so coming back into Season 1 and Season 2 here. I'm going to cover a couple of things, then we're going to go in the unboxing here on these. But the series ran for a total of 28 episodes. And they were basically anywhere between 45 minutes to 55 minutes an episode. And the series finale, that was the movie that I was trying to explain a little bit about before. What happened was is season 1, there was a gap of about a year before they came back and made season 2. Then after they made season 2, there was about a, I think it was 8 or 9 month gap till Sony Studios basically decided, hey, we need to go back and finish it. So they made an actual movie, which is great. It's a 2-hour-long movie that ties up everything, and it's the series finale. A lot of times shows, when they get canceled, don't really get a good conclusion. They don't get where they come back and they basically film a whole series finale. This one did. And so the series itself is phenomenal. I can't recommend it enough. It's probably one of my favorite sci-fi series I've watched in a long time, let alone a lot of modern TV shows. There are not that many that I've seen coming out that I really, really love anymore. I like a lot of the older shows and things like that. And this one's a very clean show. You can watch it with your family. It has a lot of action, adventure. There is intense storylines in it, but it does a good job without getting too heavy in the violence, no language. I can't recommend this show enough for that, but the storyline in it is phenomenal. I love them going to the different time periods and what's going on in it, and there's such an ongoing story that's so great in it that once you start watching, you're going to binge watch it. But it is pretty darn long because 28 almost hour-long episodes, which, like I said, 28 hours roughly. I mean, that's a lot of content to watch here, and it is great. I actually got done watching it, and I wanted to go back and watch it again. And so I don't know if any of you have done this before, but you ever watch a show you like so much that when you get done with it, you want to go back and watch it from the beginning again? That's why I love owning things physically, is because now I can go back and watch it, and I don't have to worry about it ever getting taken away or anything. On a little caveat and a little note, this actually is available on some streaming services, but some of the episodes have been slightly edited on streaming services. These are the original uncut episodes. So this complete series, when you buy the complete series, just like what I'm talking about here with the links that I have listed down below, is the original uncut. So these will not have like the episodes when it was talking about the slaves, when they go back to the slaves with Abraham Lincoln's time, where they've cut down on those episodes in streaming services and taken out things of where they were talking about the slaves. That's all included in here. Just like when they talked about basically some of the war and World War II, they took out some of that episode. It's all included in this. So this is the original way it was meant to be. So owning this again is another TV series that if you own it physically, you have the full uncut version the way it was meant to be. So let's dive into this a little more. I'll talk to you a little bit more about the show as we go along. But we're going to dive into the season 1 release first here. Now, on the season 1 release, obviously it does have their logo in Australia that they use for talking about that it is a more intense show. It comes on 3 Blu-ray discs, and I did love the artwork. I thought what they did for the artwork on this case was great. On the side here, it obviously has Via Vision, Madman, Sony, and then the Blu-ray logo, season 1 Timeless. All in English, obviously, because this is an Australian release. This is all in English. So the nice thing is for English-speaking countries, if you're watching this in England, you're watching this obviously in Australia, you're watching this in the UK, anywhere that's English-speaking, this is an English-speaking release. So everything's in English on here. It does talk about that in season 1. It includes all 16 episodes from season 1. It does have deleted scenes, gag reels, and I'll be honest with you, the deleted scenes were great. The gag reels I enjoyed. So I like that they had the extra special features on here. Obviously, these are the uncut episodes, just like what I was talking about. Now, audio option-wise, on both season 1 and on the season 2 release, they have the same audio options, which is DTS HD Master Audio 5.1, which sounded great on both of them. There was no audio hiccups. I mean, compared to the DVDs, these are going to blow it out of the water with visual and audio quality. So there's no use in even talking about the DVDs because there's no comparison. But these include the 5.1 HD Master Audio mix on them, which sounded great. There is also an LPCM 2.0 English audio. Now, it's only in English. Both audio options on both season 1 and season 2 is only in English, and there is no subtitles. So that was a negative for those of you that are wanting subtitles. There is no subtitles on either of these releases. Both audio options are only in English. So if you're looking for more audio options than that, this Blu-ray release, which is the only Blu-ray release of this show anywhere in the world, it's only available in English. But, I mean, for me, I'm super excited because, I mean, I speak English, so therefore I can get it. So I was super excited. The audio options sounded great on them. So that was great on it. Now I showed you the back obviously here. Now we're going to go into the inside of the case here. Now it does come in a little thicker of a Blu-ray case because it's a seasons of a show with 3 Blu-ray discs in it. So when you open it up, the back side of the artwork's just blank, and I'm okay with that. There wasn't really any need for them to put it on there. I like when they do things like that, but I'm so excited about this release anyways that I'm okay with it. Each disc has Timeless listed on it. Then it says the season and the disc. And then it has a little leaflet here. Same thing. It just tells you what the disc name is on each one. That's the only difference on each disc. Otherwise, it's Timeless Season 1, and that's all that comes inside it. Now, do I wish there would have been a booklet in it? Yes, but it would have raised the cost of it. And to be honest with you, the cost on these was pretty darn good. Individual seasons on each of these will run you in a $30 range. They're anywhere between like $30 to $38 per season on Blu-ray. Now, if you buy the complete series set like I did, so if that's both of them come together, basically in the complete series set, you're looking at right around, I think, the range between 40 to 50, 55 or somewhere in there. So you do save a little bit more money buying it as the complete series set, and I recommend the complete series set. And when we get later on, I'll go over my review score for it. But as far as that goes, if you're going to buy the show and you're going to try it out, you're going to be addicted to it. So in my opinion, getting the complete series set's the only way to go for this. But you can get them individually if you want. And they'll run you about $30 somewhere in there, $35 a season. So that's your season 1. We're going to get into the season 2 case here now. On season 2, I did think the artwork on season 2, by the way, I liked a little bit better. I did like season 1's artwork. Don't get me wrong. I thought it was cool looking. But there is something about the hand-drawn, and I know it's hard to see, and I'll try to put the artwork for it up above so that way you can look at it as well, but it's a hand-drawn one on the Season 2 release, and I really like the hand-drawn artwork. It has like a really cool like effect to it. But anyhow, Season 2 artwork's on there. It does have 3 Blu-ray discs, and these are BD50 Blu-ray discs, both on Season 1 and on Season 2, so there was plenty of room. They didn't overcompress anything, and they actually left plenty of room for the content that they're putting on there. So that was really good by Via Vision and Sony that released this. Now, obviously on the side it has Timeless again, your Blu-ray logo. And then on the back it's got a really nice artwork. Special features wise, this does include, and this is the same release that's released individually outside of the complete series set as well. It does include The Miracle of Christmas, the 2-hour movie that I was referencing earlier that was made basically 8 or 9 months after the series ended to tie everything up. So that is included. It includes deleted scenes and gag reels on this as well as special features on season 2. It goes into talking about, obviously, it's 1080p, English, no subtitles, 5.1 DTS HD master audio. The aspect ratio on season 1 and season 2 is 16:9. So it's going to be a widescreen just like what it was filmed for. They did not cut down the screen. They did not edit anything out, which I love. Everything is in the original intended aspect ratio with the original uncut episodes. So the minute to 30 seconds that they cut out of some of the episodes, sometimes it was 2 minutes, that's on streaming services that have been edited down. These are the original uncut episodes, and this is the only way to own it uncut unless you own the DVDs, which again, the DVDs don't compare image or sound quality to this at all. So obviously it's a complete season 2. So now let's go inside here. Same thing inside. White on the back, then you got your discs. Again, it says Timeless, season 2, disc 1. Then you got your disc 2, which is right over here. And then you have, and these discs kind of spin around on their disc 3. Now, the discs spin on these spindles pretty easy, but that's a good thing, and here's why. I did like how on the spindle, it's actually raised up so that the disc isn't touching the plastic behind. It's actually held up by the spindle, which I really appreciate that when companies do that. It's just a little nitpicky thing of mine because it makes it so the discs don't actually sit on the plastic. Not that a Blu-ray is really going to get scratched, but it just kind of adds a little something extra for collectors like me that like to keep their discs in pristine condition. I really liked that. So the inside the case, again, there's no extra artwork or anything. What we really care about is the contents of the show, the special features, the quality of the show, and if everything's included uncut, and these really did. Everything's included in these. So on both releases, and this is for my international audience as well as in America, because these weren't released in America or the USA, whether you're international, if you want to import this and you live in Germany, or you live in the UK, or you live over in Ireland, doesn't matter where you live, Japan, these are region free. Both season 1 and season 2 are region free. And I get so excited when I find a region free release, as you all know, because that means that my watchers, my subscribers, people that are excited about these, you can buy these and not have to worry about having region coding or having any issues playing them. And I tried them in my region A, my region B, my region C, my Xbox, and my PS5, and my Xbox Series X, which is my new one. It played in all of them flawlessly. There was no hiccups, no issues whatsoever. It didn't matter whether it was region C, B, A. Played perfectly. Sound was perfect on it. There's no speed up, no slowdown. Everything was in the correct aspect ratio. No edits. Absolutely love it. I mean, this series, I have been so excited about it. If you can't tell my excitement, I'm just literally, I can't say it enough. I was so excited about this series when I started watching it. Such a great binge watch. And this was one of those series that I honestly had not heard of, like I talked about previously before. So when I watched it, I went into it blind. And whether you've seen this or whether you haven't, you need to pick up this release and support this. I am so happy Sony and ViaVision decided to come together to make this release available even in Australia. That way I could buy it and import it and own it. And Amazon US has these, and I put those links down below like I talked about, but this actually is available for everybody because it's region free. And that's the only country that's even released this. So because of streaming rights in the US, we're never going to see this. They released it on DVD and dumped it on DVD. And I'm glad I held off on the DVDs because now that it's on Blu-ray in full 1080p, can't recommend it enough. The picture quality on it was absolutely stunning. And when I say stunning, they did an absolutely beautiful job putting this on Blu-ray. Because they did 3 Blu-ray discs on each season, they gave plenty of room for the full 1080p content to breathe. So that way I didn't see any hiccups. I watched every episode of both seasons on my Samsung 75-inch 4K TV, and they were beautiful. They looked stunning. I mean, honestly, as far as a 1080p HD master on actually a Blu-ray disc goes, there wasn't artifacting. It had natural film grain that they wanted in it. The digital effects looked amazing on it. And the actual skin tones and flesh colors and everything looked great. So they looked perfect. It looked natural. And I'll tell you, you could see every pore and every wrinkle. I'm going to set these down while I'm talking here for a second. every pore and every wrinkle, and you could see their hair perfectly. It just looked stunning on Blu-ray, and it's one of the best TV shows. Now, I know it's because it's filmed modern with modern cameras and 1080p technology and HD, so that makes a difference, and that makes it obviously look better just in that sense of itself. But there have been some 1080p more recent TV series that I've gotten on Blu-rays that they did a horrible job transferring it to the Blu-ray disc, and there was some artifacting and things like that. I didn't have any of that on this set at all. There was no artifacting. It looked absolutely stunning and absolutely beautiful. Now, as far as my review score goes for this set, I'm going to get into that here and explain where this review score comes from, because this one's a big deal. Because I'd never seen this show and I went into it blind, and I loved the time travel element. I loved how they went to big historical events throughout time, and there's a futuristic element, time travel element, historical show, and they did such a great job bringing so many historical characters to life that even the actors playing those historical characters took it seriously, that it wasn't campy, it wasn't, I just can't say enough for the show. I'm so disappointed it didn't last longer than the 2 seasons plus the movie, because it's some great storytelling and some great TV. But because I like the show so much, and the Blu-ray set looks stunning. It includes deleted scenes, gag reels. The audio option on it is absolutely great on it. I mean, it was hitting my bass really good. The 5.1 sounded great on my 7.1 surround sound system. And just to give you all a reference, if you all are wondering what I use for my home theater, for the Blu-ray players and my TVs, I do have those down in the description section below this video. I put down what I actually watch this stuff and review this stuff on. So that way you guys kind of get an idea of this is what I'm seeing when I'm watching things on it. And I post those down, the links for those in the description section below. That way if you're curious on what I actually watch things on, I do have those down there. I've been posting them for a while down there, and some of you have noticed it, some of you haven't. So if you want to see what Blu-ray player I use, and then what TV I watch things on, that's posted down below in the description section below. But as far as the set goes itself, I love the gag reels, I love the deleted scenes, and I loved the show itself. I think this Blu-ray set is done superbly. I think that they actually released this at a perfect time, because it was something that I didn't see coming at all. I mean, it had been a couple of years since the show had been on, let alone that the DVDs were years back. I think it was a perfect time to come out with something like this, especially during the time that we all had more time to watch things over the last year. Super excited about it. Love the show. For this release, for my review score, this one's going to get the highest score ever, 9.8. And there's a lot of things that go into that. And I know you're all probably saying, man, why'd I give it that? Because it doesn't have a booklet. Because this show is in English cases with nice Blu-ray cases. They didn't oversaturate the content. They didn't shove too much on disc. It includes deleted scenes and gag reels. And it actually has special features as well as the audio options that I like. It gets a 9.8. I mean, I absolutely love it. I can't recommend the set enough. And it's kind of one of those things that I always say I recommend picking it up. This set, I don't recommend picking it up. This one's a must-buy. I say this set is a must-buy to add to your collection. If you're a collector and you want a TV series that's downright just superbly entertaining, and when you get to the end, you're going to say, man, I wish there was more of this to watch. It does nicely finish up the story. The movie was great in it. I was glad they actually finished it up and came back and did that movie, and it's included in the set. And the whole series, I loved. So because of that, this one gets a 9.8. First ever for the channel, this release from ViaVision and Sony gets a 9.8. And because it's region free, that made this series great for all of you. That means any of you watching this, you can buy this and watch this on any of your players anywhere in the world and own this wonderful set that, again, it's only released in Australia. What a great set ViaVision did, and I hope they release more of these. I really hope ViaVision sees this as well and sees that all of us really enjoyed this set. I hope you guys will support and buy this set, because I would love ViaVision to make more of these catalog TV series released on Blu-ray that are only available on streaming and edited streaming, which I can't stand how they're doing that now. But these are the original uncut, and ViaVision did a phenomenal job. This release I highly recommend, and it's not just recommended, like I said, it's a must-buy. If you're a collector that collects TV shows, sci-fi shows, great TV, you gotta add this to your collection and you gotta own this. There's no doubt in my mind, if you haven't seen this, you're gonna love it. If you love a lot of older TV series like I talked about with Quantum Leap or 7 Days, there's so many of those older, like if you like Back to the Future, you're gonna love this show. Even the way they filmed it, they do slower paced and they speed it up, slower paced, where it's constantly varying its content enough that you really don't know what to expect with the next episode. And you love the characters. You really fall in love with these characters, and they're so well written, each story. And, you know, I don't like all the political stuff that goes on all the time with TV series. I think a lot of TV series and directors for movies are getting so political now that they put their political views and things into the movies now that they're trying to sway us. And in this show, I will say, and not trying to be political on here like I've talked about before, but this show does a great job with just kind of showing the time period itself. Like, okay, the character in here is obviously a black gentleman. I love his character in it. He goes back to Civil War era, and he's talking about in one of the episodes that he's worried about going back there because obviously he's a black man and he doesn't want to go back to Civil War era, and he's worried what's going to happen and things like that. But they handled it very well in it by showing that, yes, Abraham Lincoln and what went on with that, but he had such a great attitude, and the people that he met had great attitudes. And just the story was great. And what happened, no, I'm not saying that what happened was something great, but just the way they handled it in it and the way they wrote it seems so true and so real to life without it being, hey, we're going to put a political view one way or the other. Just like when they handled JFK assassination and things like that. They didn't try to throw in a political viewpoint on it one way or the other that, well, this was what it was or that's what it was, to where you felt like they were preaching to you, and they didn't. And I don't mind if it's meant to be that, well, hey, you know, it's like you go to church on Sunday and the preacher's teaching to you from God's word. I'm fine with that. I love to learn that. But when it's a TV show and somebody's trying to give me their political viewpoint to try to sway the TV show to be a certain thing that maybe wasn't the way it was, I'm not down with that. So that's me kind of maybe digressing a little bit. I thought the show did a great job with just kind of presenting history the way it was, how a character like you or me right now going back in time to that, how we would feel. And whether you're a white person, a black person, I don't care. Whether you're Latino, Asian, doesn't matter. They address all different elements of it. What it would be like going back to each of those events in history. And it's such a great show. Man, I can't tell you how much and how excited I was for this show. You got to pick this one up. Let me know in the descriptions below if you guys are excited about this, if you knew this had been released on Blu-ray, and if you're going to pick this one up, because I'm really curious if any of you even knew about this being released on Blu-ray, because this was so long after the show had actually aired. Because I was thrilled once I found out about it, and I actually made a huge order, and I have some exciting titles. After watching this one, I ordered a huge $1,000 order of TV shows and movies that have never been released in the US that I wanted to make sure that I had for this channel. And I have got some more really exciting stuff. After watching this and getting this in this order, I was so excited because I have so many others coming out now that I'm excited to watch, that I'm diving into next, that you guys are going to be thrilled about as well. There are some huge TV shows, movies, and things that I've gotten that I was amazed had been released, because I was huge fans of some of these that I'd seen before and didn't even know they were ever remastered released until just recently. And we're talking some of these came out in the last couple of months secretly, and I didn't know about it until I started researching and found them. So got some really exciting stuff coming out. You gotta stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And please let me know in the comment section below if you're excited about this release, if you've seen the show, and if you liked the show, and then if you're going to pick it up and support this Blu-ray release, because I think this one's a must-have. If you want a collection that you need to add to your collection, this is one of them. This is the only way to own it, and I think it's a great release. No matter where you live in the world, you're going to want to pick this one up. And just to give you a little bit about Via Vision, sometimes they will release a TV series or a movie for a little while, and then they will stop printing it if it doesn't sell well enough. So at the time of making this video, because this is a new release, obviously they're available. As time goes on, depending on how popular this is, if enough people buy it, whether we're buying it from other countries and importing it, whether you're in the US and you're buying it from the links below, through Amazon, doesn't matter. As long as we're supporting this release, they should still continue to print it. But I have seen several of their other sets, just like I've done recently. About a year ago, I did their SeaQuest complete series set review. That one has since become hard to find. A lot of people have said that. Now in the links below, I did check on that video just before I made this video to see if the SeaQuest one was available. There are still some available through those Amazon links under that video. And if you haven't watched that video for SeaQuest, that's another Via Vision complete series set that is available as well. They did of SeaQuest, all the series on Blu-ray. And that one's a great series too that they did that you should pick up. You can watch that one if you go down to the channel and you go into my videos, you'll find the SeaQuest review on there. And I did that one about a year and a half ago. And that one was a great release by them as well. But they have stepped up their game because the image quality and the transfer quality of what they did on this release versus even that SeaQuest is much better. So I really think we need to support this from ViaVision and Sony. Show them that we love this content, we want it uncut, and we want it on Blu-ray, and that we're going to buy these. Because the more we do that, the more they're going to release more of these. So let me know if you're going to pick this one up. I'm really curious if all of you are going to pick this one up and if you're excited about it. I hope you've all enjoyed this one today. I really had a fun time with this one. I've been so excited about this show and excited to do this review. I wanted to get this out to you all as soon as possible. Watching this show, I was having so much fun. I was like, put the other review aside. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this one right away. I'm so excited. So I wanted to get this one out to all of you. I appreciate all of your time today. And make sure to click the subscribe button, the bell notification right next to it. Give this video a thumbs up. That way we can show ViaVision we love this video. Give this video a thumbs up so they know to release more of this content as well. And as always, I will put the links in the description section below. That way you can go down there, easily open it up, buy each individual release that way, or you can go in and buy the complete season set through Amazon. All the links are listed down there. I appreciate all of your time today, and I hope all of you have a blessed day.